This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 265, and we have an absolute belter today, okay? Boom Boom Cannon is back and we talk about being hard. Now that may sound erotic, but it's definitely not, okay? You will find out more about that in the conversation, which let's jump straight to. So here is the conversation. Happy listening. Boom Boom Cannon, how are you today?
I'm very well, Martin. How are you?
All the better after talking to you, Boom Boom. Our pre-podcast chat about cycling with kids has got me ready for this, Boom Boom, in the mood. How about you?
Yeah, same. We really we talked a lot about different types of bike seats. So in a way, I'm feeling like it's a shame that wasn't recorded, because I'm sure people would love to listen to half an hour of talking about different types of child bike seats.
It was enthralling, absolutely, but unfortunately people did miss that part of the conversation, which doesn't really, I mean, we are kind of just going to skip over the review thing, okay? I don't want to go down that road at the moment. I don't even want to talk about it.
Touchy subject.
Yeah, but yeah, our pre-podcast chat is very different to what we're talking about today, which I don't know how this came in my mind. Well, actually I do, but we'll get to that, which is, how hard are you? Okay. Like, as in, so if people don't know what that means, it's not like an erection. How hard are you talking about bike seats? So it's like a thing that people will say in kind of like secondary school about someone's really hard, of like someone like maybe like manly, strong kind of vibe. That good description, Boom Boom? Yes.
I mean, when you use the phrase, how hard are you? I did also think that's quite a school teenage way of phrasing this. It's kind of rare now as 40-year-old men that you sort of discuss how hard you or someone else is. Whereas I think when we were 15, that was one of the main topics of conversation. Who's hard, who's not.
Well, I thought let's revisit that. Okay. So again, I've asked ChatGPT about how hard you are. So some of these are ChatGPT questions, some of these are mine, and we'll dive straight into it. And this first question, I will explain how I did get to this. Okay, so we're doing like a test of how hard you are. Okay, so number one, would you ever or have you ever ordered a half pint of beer? Because in the UK, a man, if you order half a pint of beer, you are not considered particularly hard. So have you ever or would you ever?
I have and I would.
Right. Okay. But okay, you say you would, but would you feel like a bit of a loser doing that?
No. I'd say it would depend on the context. I think when I have done it in the past is because, as I think we've discussed, I am quite a slow drinker. So sometimes when someone else has been ready to get another round in, I've still got half a pint left. So I've gone for the half then, so that I'm just keeping up.
Right. Okay, but here's the situation. In fact, I think this might have come from, so I've met up with a few of our friends last week, and we were talking about the fact that, this is big news actually, that you are now engaged, Boom Boom, aren't you? I mean,
I am indeed.
So she said yes to Will You Marry Me, even the fact that you've been together over 10 years and have a child. Surprisingly, she did say that she would.
I was relatively confident that she would say yes.
I suppose for you, that's what you need, because you're never so sort of maybe confident about things, Boom Boom. You always think the worst. So maybe you wanted to do this sort of like, I don't know, 12 years ago. But you thought, well, I need to be at least 10 years together and have a child. Then I will ask her to marry me.
I need to be sure. I need there to be almost 0% risk of being turned down.
Well, congratulations when we've already done this. But so we were actually talking about possible stag do for Boom Boom. Okay. And then we were talking about, obviously we're all like in our 40s now, so what this stag do is going to be like. And we were talking about sort of stag do vibes. So would you order half a pint on a stag do? Because there are, like you said, depends on the context. If you go out, if it's me and you having a drink and you say, actually, I'll have a half, that's fine. But when you're on a stag do and there are people there, so that's the thing about a stag do, isn't it? You've got normally your close group of friends, but there are always a few add-ons. And would you order half a pint in front of the add-ons?
Yeah, before you said that, I was very much thinking it's all about the add-ons. Who are they?
Yeah,
what's
exactly.
their vibe? With our group, I'd happily order half a pint and take whatever comments come. So I think maybe, if the add-ons are, they're bigger boys.
And again, like you said, we are 40 now. Yeah. Well, actually, you're 41 now, aren't you, Boomer? I'm very, very close to being 41, but still in the 40 category. But the fact that we would still, not be strong enough to survive peer pressure from these add-ons that we don't know. Like you said, if they were big boys, you wouldn't order a half, you would order a full pint. And I would do exactly the same.
And I would just think, I'm not going to finish this full pint. So but it's just better. Yeah. It's better to have ordered it and not finish it.
I will look cooler to these people that I've never met, but I don't want them to think I'm an idiot. So,
or even possibly do what one of our friends did when some shots were being ordered. And rather than admit he didn't want a shot... he took his shot, and then while everyone else was sort of knocking theirs back, sort of like head back, looking away, he poured his into a plant pot that was beside him in the bar.
There's just no words to really describe how pathetic that is it? Because it costs money, a shot. I don't know how much a shot is by these, but it's probably like £4. Yeah. And you're literally just throwing £4 or whatever it is into a plant. Not sure if Sambuca helps plants grow. I mean, everyone's putting Sambuca on the plants these days, aren't they? Helps them grow.
He also, the same friend, I remember being in a bar with him once, and he, I heard him sort of quietly, some shots had been ordered, and sort of quietly, when he didn't think anyone was noticing, passing his to his then girlfriend, and saying, like this, in a very casual way, this has been bought for you. Someone got some shots in. This is your one. I obviously heard this. So I would say, no, that's not true. That's your shot. Just drink it.
Again, when a shot is put in front of you, it depends who you're with. Like you said, if it's just our group of friends, I'm very comfortable saying, no, you can stick that up your arse. There's no chance. But when there are the bigger boys there, the add-ons, and you think, oh God, I really don't want to do this, but I can't take the comments from them. So you've got to do
bloody
it.
Add-ons.
Bloody add-ons. Because I think this idea for this podcast actually started from when I was in the pub last week, and obviously one of our close friends doesn't actually drink anymore, and the other, so me and the other guy that was there, we were in a bit of a rush, so I went to the bar. It was my round, and I had to order 2 half pints of beer and a non-alcoholic beer, and I just thought, God, if anyone else was here. The barman didn't say anything to me, but I was thinking he must think I'm an absolute dickhead. And then, went back to the table with 2 half pints and a non-alcoholic beer, and we knocked them back.
You didn't sort of proceed your order with, look, mate, you're going to think I'm a dickhead here.
I was tempted, but I thought I don't want to make a thing of it. I don't want to bring that to his. I'm sure he's aware of this, but I don't want to bring any more attention to the fact. I didn't want anyone else to sort of pick up on it either.
I actually think the non-alcoholic beer has kind of that's had this sort of upswing. So that's become increasingly normalised and acceptable to the point where I think the barman would have thought, yeah, sure. Yeah. But I feel like the half pint hasn't had that sort of change in fortunes yet.
No, I did actually hear someone famous talking about the fact that he orders non-alcoholic beer now. And he just said because he just doesn't want to drink anymore. And he said when he does that, people immediately start talking to him about like drinking problems as if like he was some sort of alcoholic. Because I think that's the thing. It's like if someone's ordering a non-alcoholic beer, it's kind of like they were almost alcoholic and that they've kind of like completed the drinking game, as if it was like, you know, like computer game like Sonic the Hedgehog. When you complete the game, it's kind of like I've completed drinking, so now I'm on the non-alcoholics. But half pint doesn't give you that vibe.
Half pint doesn't. No.
Doesn't. Okay, so another question I've got here. I think we've got a good chunk out of that one question about half a pint. Should have just done a podcast on that. So when you are on a couch, do you need a cushion? Now, I assume this means that if you have cushions, you are not hard.
Right,
so
okay.
Are you a cushion guy?
I mean, we have a lot of cushions here. You know, I've become quite accustomed to cushions. So I'm going to say yes.
I refuse to sit on a couch without a cushion. Okay. I'll be like, fuck. If I came to your house, Boom Boom, and you said sit on the couch, you know, sit down. You had no cushions. I would walk out. I would be like, this is not acceptable.
Well, you'd like it here because the way Mrs. Boom Boom operates, you can't move for cushions here. There's more cushion than couch. There's loads of them. So
yeah. In fact, when people, you know, come over and you've got the cushions on the couch, and so we have these kind of like two other armchairs that normally don't have a cushion on. If people sit on the couch and you're like, can I just tell them to move? Or like sometimes they might be sitting on like 3 cushions and you're like, do you need 3? If you feel bad saying
something.
Can I just have one of my cushions? That is my cushion. It's an absolute nightmare. It's like if someone comes to your house for your dinner and they're sitting where you normally sit and you're sitting at the other side of the table. It's kind of like you just feel so out of place, don't you? It's like, what
can I say something?
Yeah, and the room looks different, doesn't it? Because you're kind of looking at it from a different perspective.
Whole new perspective.
Literally. Opens up the mind, really, doesn't it?
It does.
Eating dinner in a different place. But I mean, do you think there anyone that exists that doesn't sit in the same place when they have dinner at home? It's just a natural habit thing, isn't it? You just naturally do it.
Yeah. I mean, now I think our sort of constellation of who sits where is changing a bit because it's sort of dictated by who's having main responsibility for feeding baby Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Who's getting food chucked on the floor and in charge of picking that up.
There's not many things worse than seeing a child eat, is there? And they're just like shoving it all over their mouth. Even now, generally my job is sort of cleaning up in the evenings and sometimes go under the table and you just think, how is this? There's more food on the table than there was on the plate.
I'm still getting used to it, and it's just there ends up being so much food on the floor. And sometimes when you've made something, and obviously, you know, I'm not knocking up, you know, Michelin star food for baby Boom Boom. She's 16 months, but you know, I like to put in a bit of effort from time to time. And then she's just chucked that straight on the floor. And she sort of does it, I feel sort of like knowing that she's just pissing me off.
That's what she thinks of it, is just sort of have that, you bastard.
This crap.
This is what I think of your food, chucking it on the floor. It's the same. And the few times we go out for dinner, one of the main reasons we don't is because when we get off that table, been to like a restaurant, and I just look at the waiter, I say, I'm really sorry. Like, I feel like I should stay and just you know, go get me dustpan and brush, and I'll clean this because I just feel so bad.
Sorry. Come on, I'll do a shift here now. I work here now.
You go over the kids, you put them to bed, and I'll finish your evening shift off. It's an absolute nightmare. Okay, here's one. So you use a public toilet. You have to do a number 2. what do you do? Because I specifically remember at university there was a guy who he was very disgusting. This person, he was, I think, the most disgusting male I've ever come across. But he was actually all right though, because normally you think someone is disgusting, they're just like, you know, disgrace. Like you can't even have a chat with him. But he was really actually all right. And he told me if he went to a public toilet, he said, if I need a number two, I need a number two, and I'm not waiting for anyone. Okay. And he just sits on that toilet seat, and which again, it was kind of like a manly, like, I'm really hard. I don't care what's on that toilet seat. Like that toilet seat needs to be scared of me, not the other way around.
Okay, I see where you're coming from now. Because I didn't quite get the premise of the question of like, what do you do?
Yeah, no, right.
Do you deal with the toilet seat?
So yeah, what's your routine, or do you even do a number two in public?
It's been known.
It's been known.
It's happened.
I mean, yeah, I think everyone, you try and avoid it at all costs.
In public, I feel like sounds quite different to in a public toilet. I've not done one in public. I feel like
everyone comes to watch the show. It's quite a show sometimes, I must admit.
Yeah. So do I deal with the seat?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it.
Yeah, but I mean, even if it's you know, because you do get the clean ones, I still would never go on like skin touching toilet seat. Would you?
Okay.
Would you?
What, you hover?
No, I layer it with toilet paper, like fully. Okay. So the first thing I do is flush the toilet. Okay, just to make sure all that stuff's going. Then I put some toilet paper in the toilet for any splashback, which I don't want. So then it's like a nice, just catches it nicely. And then I put toilet paper on the toilet seat, and then I can relax.
Okay, no, I'm not going to those lengths.
Right. Well, then that would show that you are more hard than me. You are harder than I am.
Well, it sounds like I'm sort of closer to the person you described as the most disgusting person you've ever met. No, I'd say I deal with it on a case by case basis.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to those kind of extremes. I'd say.
Right. Okay. Interesting. No, I whatever toilet it is, I will do that. And the only toilets I trust are people I know and staff toilets. That's it, because you kind of think I know who's going here. But when it's just open to the general public, you never know what kind of riffraff is. Does it have
to be specifically staff toilets in a place you're working in, or could it just be?
No, oh sorry, staff toilets. I'm working there.
Staff toilets. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been into. You go to a restaurant and then I just go to the staff toilets. Okay, so we are going to stop the conversation there, talking about staff toilets. The rest of the conversation, as usual, will be in the RnR family episode tomorrow. But let's have a look at some of the vocabulary used in today's episode. So here we are. So at the very beginning of the conversation, I mentioned that Boom Boom and I had been talking about bike seats for children in our pre-podcast chat, and I said it was enthralling, a lovely adjective to say, so exciting, so you couldn't miss a word of that conversation. It was so exciting. And then we spoke about the reviews, and Boom Boom said it's a touchy subject, like not something you want to talk about at the moment. Then we spoke about knocking back drinks and knocking a shot back. So if you do a shot of tequila or sambuca, when it goes back, your kind of head goes back as well, doesn't it? That's like knocking a drink back. So we often say, for example, knocking some beers back, even if you don't make the head movement, it just shows that it's going down your throat, basically. I then mentioned how when I ordered 2 half pints and a non-alcoholic beer, I didn't want to make a thing of it. So I didn't want to make it into like something to talk about. Okay, I didn't want to make it into a big deal. I didn't want to make a thing of it. And I also said I didn't want anyone else to pick up on it, meaning everyone else. I didn't want anyone else to kind of understand what was going on. Boom Boom also said he's become quite accustomed to cushions, which I think that piece of vocabulary, accustomed to, is a really easy way to avoid the used to thing. People get really confused with used to, like I'm used to, I used to, I'm getting used to, and it can be quite confusing. So if you use this accustomed to instead of one of those, I won't go into the used to differences, but it definitely takes the place of one of them, okay? To be accustomed to something, like accustomed to cushions. And Boom Boom said, you can't move for cushions here, meaning there are so many, you literally can't move. We spoke about children shoving food in their mouth, like in an aggressive way, shoving it in there. And Boom Boom also said he's not knocking up Michelin star food for his daughter. So knocking up, meaning cooking. So I might just knock something up, meaning, again, cooking, okay? I also said how my friend, who is the most disgusting person I've ever met, I say friend, we haven't spoken in a while, but if I did see him, I would be happy to see him because he was all right, even though he was disgusting. His attitude was the toilet should be scared of me, not the other way around. That's a lovely term there. So not the opposite, not the other way around. And Boom Boom said, oh, I see where you're coming from now. Like, I see what you mean. And then he said, I didn't get the premise of the question. So premise meaning like the argument, the base of the argument you're talking about. I also said when I use a public toilet, I put some toilet paper in the toilet immediately to avoid splashback. So I've let you imagine what that means, okay? Well, the water splashing back and hitting you, okay? But a lovely term there, splashback. And Boom Boom said, no, I don't go to those lengths. I don't do that much like what you do. And then again, just before the end, talking about toilets I trust, I said public toilets, you get any kind of riff-raff there. So riff-raff, like any type of person, like the worst of the worst. So that's it for today. I will see you very soon. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to RnR English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.